Hi everyone, I'm Chloe. If you don't know me, I am the tech product manager who is your favorite internet coworker, teaching career tips, who got laid off, who then went viral for it, and then took an adult gap year, started a podcast, edited it, started a new series, and then went viral and hit 1 million followers on Instagram in 4 months, all while getting married. Yes, that is me. And the amount of questions I have gotten about how everything happened is out of control. And I know content and storytelling are just going to be more and more part of our careers no matter what you're doing. So I'm going to break down exactly how I did this, why it worked, what I do differently, and how that impacted my life. So here are the topics of today. To set expectations, this is not about how to make 1 or 2 videos pop off. It's about making a whole project or what you're all about grow through content. And you think the hardest part is editing, but it's actually building an efficient system to execute everything. Because doing it once is not that hard, but doing it again and again for like months on end, even when you don't want to do it, is hard. Which is why today I am partnering with Dropbox to share how that works in 2025. If you have not heard of Dropbox yet, I do not know what rock you've been living under, because they are the OGs in the file storage and content collaboration space for the last 17 years. The concept is simple. You upload your files, they sync across your devices, and then you can share it with anyone. And Dropbox has spent the time to make all the annoying little things disappear. Like if your photos and videos look like this, nuh-uh. Please learn to rename them in bulk using custom naming conventions. It'll save you a lot of trouble. If you're spending hours manually moving files, you can use Smart Move, where Dropbox automatically groups files for you based on what you already have. Don't worry, they'll show you a preview first for you to approve. If you work with really big files, you know that this is very, very painful. I film everything in 4K, and I think every podcast episode I have is like 100 gigabytes each. But on Dropbox Transfer, you can send up to 250 gigabytes, and you can send it to people without them needing a login. And for any video, you can give timestamp feedback, which is very helpful if you're working with editors or clients. But Dropbox is more than just sending files and reviewing videos. They are all in on Dropbox Dash, which is a universal search and knowledge management tool. If you worked any job, you know that everyone's files is a hot mess. Your files are everywhere in every tool imaginable. Dropbox can actually connect with your other work apps like Slack, Canva, Jira, Zoom. You can just type in the search bar, which has universal search powered by AI, that can then find your file for you across all these spaces, even if you don't know the exact file name. Yes. You can also chat with Dash. If you ask a question, Dash can summarize what you need to know by scanning through all your scattered notes, docs, threads. Then ask it follow-up questions like, what are the shot list details? And it will summarize that information, provide insights, and even create new content like drafting an email or creating a brief, all in your own voice. Then there's Stacks. Every project needs one central source of truth with all of your project files and links. Then you can share this stack to onboard people faster. Content production is not chill at all. It is laborious, but companies like Dropbox are here to support you to do your best work. Check out Dropbox with my link down below and learn more about how Dropbox Dash can help you and your team. Thank you, Dropbox, for sponsoring. Now, back to the video. I started content around 5 years ago, mostly doing tech career videos and lifestyle. I was on like LinkedIn and YouTube. I was working full-time at TikTok and then at Discord as a PM. At this point, I don't think I crossed 100K anywhere. But then at the top of last year, I got laid off. I was part of the tech mass layoffs. I shared about it. It went really viral. I think that's when I crossed 100K. I then took an adult gap year where I taught tech for Taiwan. I started the podcast. I went on a bunch of side quests to figure out what I wanted in my career. I was like, huge existential crisis moment. And honestly, things were going really well, but I just knew in my heart of hearts that I didn't really put enough reps into the creative process. I've always had this 30 lessons by 30 idea in my head, because you see that around YouTube. It's not an original idea. You see 30 lessons by 30, 20 lessons I learned in my 20s. In October of last year, I decided to confront my feelings, kill my darlings, end my podcast for the time being, and then start on the series. I just felt like I needed to learn how to be a true creative, and I didn't do that yet. I'm a very corporate trained person. I also was turning 31 last year, so I was like, I gotta do it this year. Originally, it was meant to be like this ginormous YouTube video, but then I saw creators like Mylene's Mind start this type of lessons format series on short form, and I was like, oh wow, if I dedicate 1 lesson per video, it just hits so much more differently. But anyways, check her out, she's very talented. So then in November, I got started on writing on scripts. I had kind of like most of my 30 lessons written out, and then some of the scripts written. I just needed to film and edit. By the end of November, I think I only got 7 videos videos edited. And I was like, shit, if I don't post by December 1st, it's gonna go into 2025. And like, I need to get it out. I need to get it out. So when December 1st happened, I just decided, fuck it, I'm just gonna ship it. It went live. I was not prepared. I was batch filming, editing every single day until lesson number 22. On December 23rd, I posted a video called I Messed Up because I did not have a video ready. I also had a family emergency. I had to fly out. Eventually, I came back later, but throughout that process, the production experience was so hard. Like, this was the hardest project I've ever done in my content life before. It is just not that easy to script that much, create a shot list, find shooting locations, get all these outfits, get all your equipment, lighting, props, then review all the footage, edit your core cuts, and figure out how to move forward from there and bring it to life. Like, all of this was a new skill set for me. There were many days I was like, dude, I don't know how I'm gonna get a video out tomorrow. And then I would just grind through it and be like, trust the process. We're gonna get there. I was regularly editing until like 4 a.m. Not the healthiest month of my life. And personally, I kind of just disappeared. I was in my editing cave. I didn't really see friends. People were very forgiving and understanding. Very grateful. So then I left with my family. After seeing my family, I came back to LA. I started posting again on February 2nd. Wow, I did not know it took me like more than a month to come back. I only had 8 videos left, but those videos were absolute masterpieces, let me tell you. I went all out. I shot in Michigan, at a lake, in the airport, at a Chinese restaurant, in San Francisco, on the streets, on the Caltrain, at a rose garden next to the museum. I discovered so many cute parts of every city I was in. That was so fun. I also tried a lot of filming and editing techniques. I really treated this as a personal boot camp to become a really good video editor because I didn't think I was that good before. And now here we are. By the way, I have this Einspanner matcha latte to get me through today. This is so yummy. So let's talk numbers. Before 30 lessons, I think I was around 265,000 followers. My goal was to get 10K more followers. I'd be like really happy if I just grew 10 more K. My secret goal was to break 300K. But when we finished 30 lessons, I think we surpassed 900K. Wow. Then I went to China and Taiwan to have my wedding, and I came back, and then we slowly hit 1 mil. And that was about 4 months. Wow. I remember very distinctly the night that I hit 400K. Oh my God. By the time I went to Haro Cake, got my cake, came back, was trying to get ready to film, I already hit 500K. This all happened in a span of like 2 days. I have never seen numbers move like that before. It is a case to be studied. And then it just kept going. It went to 700, then 800, then 900, and then finally 1 million. I had so much cake during this time. It was phenomenal. Series have just been popping off on content all of last year and this year. I feel like everyone is doing it, but not every series performs. So I do think there's a method to the madness. Why did 30 lessons do as well as it did? Here are 6 attributes of my series that I think made it really work. Number 1, repetition. Just saying this is 30 lessons by 30 in every single video made it very brandable and memorable. I repeated it every time. It was a familiar format, and the structure of each script was pretty similar too. I'd start with the question or the lesson, then the intro bumper, then the narrative, and then end on a wise quote, and then say, this is 30 lessons by 30, the next one's tomorrow, so follow for more. That kind of consistency really lives up to the expectation for the viewer when they are browsing other videos within the series. 2, the appointment effect. This is the promise that I will be posting every single day for the next 30 days. I didn't really do that, but like, I tried my best, you know? Like when I said the next lesson's tomorrow, so follow for more, that gives like a promise for more and when that's gonna happen. I think it gave more urgency to like follow now so you can get that notification and have that on your feed so you don't miss it. But I didn't want to make it too overwhelming. I wanted to be like gentle about it, like, there's more if you would like, follow for more. I think this is called soft marketing, but I'm not too sure, so I would look it up. I get really icked out when content like kind of screams at your face to follow them, so I try to keep it gentle. 3, browsable. I just had really clean, clear thumbnails that made it very obvious that this video is part of the series and what lesson that's going to be. I would just imagine the thumbnail on the Explore page, and if a random person can look at their Explore page with that thumbnail and be like, oh, I think I know exactly what I'm going to get from this video, that's a good thumbnail. Also, I didn't want to overcomplicate it. Just remember, keep it stupid simple. 4, visual variety. I went from filming in my kitchen, cutting watermelons, to lakes in Michigan, to being on trains in San Francisco, to being in Little Tokyo in LA. I think the fact that you didn't really know where I was going to be next gave a bit more of like intrigue to keep watching. I am a homebody, and so researching film shoot locations and like trying to find where I can film and be safe filming was actually so hard, but it's my favorite part of the whole process because like I got to see the city in a different way. Like I got to see it through visually stunning frames, and that was awesome. I've never seen the places I've explored that way before. 5. Distinct editing style. I wanted a style that felt more new. I feel like there is a pocket of cinematic storytelling that kind of all looks the same, and I didn't want to play into that. I wanted my color grading to feel different, my text choices, my pacing, my sound effects. I do get a lot of inspiration from other creators, of course, but like I needed to add my own element to it. I got a lot of comments about how to find your editing style, and I think that I really just trialed and errored a lot. Like I would just find inspiration and be like, I want to try that one thing and add it to my arsenal of design techniques. I think I'd have to noodle on this question a little bit more, so let me get back to you in a future video. 6. Rooted in lived-in experiences. I made sure that all the scripts I were written from a place of personal experience, because one of my pet peeves is sniffing out that a script is just like kind of a word vomit of somewhat motivational generic jargon that feels like it was pulled by ChatGPT. I think I'm a little allergic to it. I am an ENTJ. I'm previously a product manager. I just love concrete storylines. Like I need a grasp onto something really specific. So scripting was a very rigorous process for me. And I know storytelling is actually the #1 request that people ask me to cover and teach. So yes, I'm thinking of putting together a little mini course or mini workshop. Stay tuned for that. So how did I pull this off daily? Oh my God. Wow. What a fever dream. Remember how I said this is like one of the hardest projects I've ever taken on creatively? Yeah, I learned a lot. I tried to get help, but it was tough. It was tough. So here is how we figured out some of the workflow. You have your raw footage, then your rough cut, fine cut, and picture lock. After I'd film, I'd put together an assembly cut or a rough cut. I would send it to the editor. The editor would take about half a week to a week to get it somewhere. Then they would send me their Premiere project, and then I would rip out 20 to 99% of their edits and then redo it all. It sounds really bad, but in the spirit of trying to build something, I edited the vast majority of all my videos. I think maybe one video was edited well by the editors, but it was a learning curve for everyone. And I think it's so tough because I really think everyone tried their best, but I just think it was a tough project. Editors are freelancers, they're busy, they got other clients, they got live stuff. This was during the holidays. So technically I had people trying to help me, but I don't think I saved. But I was looking at this in the long term, like this was a way for me to discover whether I had what it took to train other people with my editing style. The answer was no, but I am still trying, and that's what matters. I also organize everything in a Notion doc to do all the content planning. If I finish putting together a template for this, here it is for you. If not, hope this will come out soon. But yes, I put together a content planning system for everyone to reference. I have statuses on every project. We'd have owners on them. We had a group chat where my editors were in. We would send each other our revisions and do design crits for each other, even my own edits. I would say this was very akin to like an Asana task board or a Jira board, very project management-y. In this process, I also learned how to have very good digital hygiene. This is how to organize your files, how to have clear Premiere bins, how to build in good naming conventions, and figuring out how to send big files. Editing your own videos is one thing, but editing with a team who live everywhere is a whole other can of worms. Like it's actually not an easy thing to do. I think it'd be cool to put together more of a curriculum on creating a content planning system with a team. TBD, more future down the line stuff. I think people expect to go viral immediately when they start a new series, but the reality is you don't. I think it took me probably 7 to 14 videos for one of them to start popping off. I had very average views from the beginning. And then when that video hit, everything started to lift up, but very slowly. It was a small wave of growth. My advice for anyone doing a series is that you really have to believe in your work because the results are just not going to show immediately. That is a lagging indicator. Your belief in it is a leading indicator. I think a lot of people give up in their 5 videos or something because they don't think it's worth it, but you really have to keep going. I would give at least 2 full weeks of posting every single day until you make a call. Also, when you have hyper growth, you're just going to have a ton of comments that you would want to respond to, but I just simply did not have time because I was just working on the next video. So if I were to redo this, I would have all the videos done so that I can respond to comments and create reaction videos to those comments. I really missed out on that, I would say. Another thing that happens during hyper hypergrowth is that random people out of the woodworks just start reaching out to you. Like they want to grab coffee, they want to pick your brain, they want you to help give them advice on something, and I simply did not have time. I also had to plan my wedding at that time. Like that was when the 3-month mark was hitting, and I was like, oh my dear God, what am I gonna do? Like seriously, I did not even have time to get my own cakes fast enough. And I knew that if I did not celebrate every single milestone, I would regret it, because this is not an easy thing to do. This is such a rare once-in-a-lifetime experience. And I think it's so important to stop and smell the roses, celebrate how far we've come, and then go, because otherwise, like, what's the point? But I think the reality of growth is that when it comes, you have to put the pedal to the metal, because opportunities like these never come. I really like that quote, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. And I feel like that happened here. Well, anyways, I don't think it's true luck. I think we really worked through it. Did I ever want to quit mid-series? I don't think so. I was very locked in. All I did was sleep, eat, edit, film, repeat. It was the hardest, most all-consuming project I've ever taken on, but it was sincerely so worth it. I also made this project all about me learning how to edit and create videos, so the results were truly a cherry on top. It was all about input, not output, and I think that tempered my expectations and relationship with the project a lot better. I would 100% produce all the videos before I even release the first video of a series, because you sincerely do not have time during the posting process. There is too much that happens and you want to do other things. I would also be kinder to myself if I didn't hit a deadline. I remember when I posted that video that I messed up, I kind of felt like a failure. This has been my content planning system, putting your goal out there, building in public, and seeing yourself not hit the mark. And then you have all these people rooting for you, expecting you to hit that post. I took it harder than I should have, I guess. But honestly, everyone in the comments were really nice. It was all in my head. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention was that I took on 0 brand deals at that time. Like I had brands from previous months that I had to post, but it was already done. I just said no to everything that came in for like half a year. I think what it is you get so distracted from all these one-off things like events, other videos, other business initiatives, other projects. I think I'm just such a one-track mind that any small thing is a huge distraction. So even if I get invited to an event, I would not want to go. Sponsors take so much out of me. You know how I do my sponsors, guys. Like I am so dedicated to it that it just takes me out for the week. I'm also very bad at multitasking, so I really needed to hone in on this one project. Honestly, I don't think it really has hit me how big of a number this is. Objectively, yes, this is a very large number, but my daily life has looked pretty much the same. I just stay home, script, edit, film, go through emails, write strategy docs. I do think what was different was earlier this year, I went to Config by Figma, and that was the most amount of people that's ever gone up to me to say hi. I was so flattered. It was all corporate girlies who came up to me, and I was like, yes. The right tempo. Oh, I did join UTA earlier this year. That was a huge decision. I feel like I am just exposed to so many more creator circles in the industry, on the business side, on the creator side. There is such a hidden world of creator news, reputations, gossip, inner workings, contracts. It's a secret world. Everything to the way teams are formulated, workflows, techniques. Everyone is just kind of building everything for the first time. Some really cool things that happened is that I got invited to Gold Gala. Yay! This was a huge goal of mine. I also got to go to Cannes Lions. I get invited to a ton of premieres in LA. That's really awesome. I also host a lot of interviews with tech executives, which is really cool. And I'm not really sure if these opportunities would have come to me if I had not hit this milestone. And I'm not saying that you have to. I know a lot of other creators who are with me in these opportunities who are like in the 100K to 300K range. I'm just saying that for me and my profile, I don't think I had the pull if I had not hit that number. But I would say the coolest thing that happened since this was I got a DM from the one, the only Miss Arden Cho. She was like, hey, I love your work. Would you ever want to get coffee sometime? And I'm just like, yes, I would. So we meet up at a coffee shop at 1 p.m. and then we just talk until 6 p.m. And I feel like she just scooped me up and gave me all these words of wisdom. And now I have a mentor in the entertainment media space. What I love about the creator model is that you can truly just do everything yourself. Like in the corporate world, I own one area and I always felt bottlenecked by other people having to build certain items. And I felt like I just couldn't move fast enough. Now I have found my limit in terms of how much I can output and own as a single person, there's only so much you can do. So you've probably seen posts of me saying, we are hiring, please submit your application. But I think I treat the hiring process so differently in the creative space than in corporate. Like truly, here is about taste and craft. I don't think I treat content as a typical 9-to-5 job. I think I have such a different approach to creative hiring and creative teams because I'm always looking for craft, taste, grit, commitment, resilience, and that is how you build something so specific and great. I personally think that this is such a rare opportunity to finally be creative. I've never had this chance in my entire career before, and so I want to give it my best shot. So I love the rigor that I put into the work. I pour my heart into things. I think the fact that I had been yearning for a chance like this for such a long time makes me so grateful for every project and every day I get to live doing it. It's truly a privilege to be in this position. On the flip side, I also feel very behind. Like I had all these years in corporate and this is truly like the first 1 to 2 years in the creative space. But you know, it means like I guess I have more perspective. This is just something I'm constantly battling. I always got to remind myself, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. I will probably share my concrete plans in a future video. I did write a whole H2 strategy doc. I think it'd be really interesting to share, but I don't want to jinx it, so maybe later. I have some humongous plans that I have no idea how I'm gonna make happen, but I gotta start somewhere. It's been very fun, very exciting, very tiring, full of lots of learnings. Yeah, and that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have further questions on this journey, please let me know in the comment section below and I will answer. And I'm so happy you're here. I hope you're proud of the journey. For those who knew me before, like when I had purple hair or something, you're the OGs. Like you're the real ones, dude. I had some history back then. So thank you for watching always, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!